everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Cinematic Wasteland here on the this PDM Crew Podcasting Network. And joining me, as always, my two partners in crime, fellas in cinema, it is Adam.
Hey, good to see you, gents. Sorry, you shocked me. Didn't think I was going to go first. Sorry.
And it's Luke.
Hey, you shook me. I didn't know I was gonna go second, but hey.
You were over prepared. I was under prepared.
Yes.
And I always go first.
Mm.
But we here on the Cinematic Wasteland, this is your show where each month three three guys love for film takes you through the history of cinema. And we're moving on downtown through the 1930s. It is 1936, and we'll be talking about Mr. Deeds. Not that one, not the Adam Sandler one, but the original, which I had no idea that movie was that much of a shot, like a actual remake of this movie
Yeah.
until I
Man.
watched it for this show.
Mhm.
But we'll get into that. But what we usually do here, we do give some film history, so you learn a thing or two with our particular, extremely entertaining lens, if I do say so myself.
Mhm.
And we go into a little bit of box office and the Oscars. Um, Still don't know how reliable these box office numbers are, but who says numbers have to be true if you believe in them? Circa 2026. So,
Yeah, we just
as
usually
some
ask, the junkie around the corner, as we've established in the previous episode, the crackhead.
there we
Yeah,
go.
that's right.
Let's dive in, and it's Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times, mostly silent, although with various sound effects, com- uh, commented upon the effects of the Great Depression. This social protest film was Chaplin's final stand against the synchronized sound film, and it was also his last full-length silent film, quote unquote. Although it must be noted that it is a quasi silent film, the still silent tramp with his familiar small derby hat, mustache, large boots, baggy pants, tight jacket, and cane made his last screen appearance. Via lip reading, the tramp's final words were deciphered to be "Smile, come on." Filmed between 1932 and 1936, it was directed, written, scored, and produced by Chaplin himself, and he also starred in his own one-man show with his current wife and kindred spirit, Paulette Goddard. Riot police were called to control the crowds at the film's New York City premiere in early February at the Rivoli Theater, but Chaplin was not in attendance for his first film in 5 years. He dreaded the thought of being stared and pointed at as though I were a freak. However, he and Goddard did attend the glamorous Hollywood premiere a week later at Grauman's Chinese Theater. So,
Mm.
modern times.
Yep,
Mm.
we've arrived.
I am really hoping that to do this for a business movie night at Ryder, my little once a semester movie night that I do with the Norm Brazzi College of Business, because I think this would be very interesting to look at in the
Mm.
context of how AI is
Hmm.
changing
Hmm.
business and
Yeah.
work experience and building those connections. So
Yep.
to
You
be continued.
twin it with no other choice. There'd be two great movies back to back.
Because
Interesting.
damn, that's a good choice.
And I know
Mm.
that Modern Times is on Canopy, so I know I could play it for free.
Nice.
Without paying
Yes.
$600 to $700 of licensing fees to show a film on a campus for an event, which
Mm.
is
Wow.
ridiculous. It's for educational purposes, but I'll get off my soapbox. But no, Modern Times is great. I love this
Hmm.
movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Um,
it is fantastic.
so the Negro Improvement League protested the Green Pastures, the first all-black film since King Vidor's Hallelujah in 1929. It was a reenactment of Bible stories set in the world of Black American folklore and filled with cliches and racial stereotypes of the time. The organization criticized it as insulting, degrading, and malicious, and perpetuating unacceptable stereotypes. When this come out, 2026,
Yeah.
but that is a shame for sure.
Mm.
And obviously this was still in that period where, Whitey was still casually just being like, "Oh, what if we did this?" So that's a very interesting. That also took 7 years for them to make an all black film in between there.
Yep.
Hmm.
They didn't have Tyler Perry back there pumping
No.
out
No
like
Wayans brothers.
three films a year.
Yep. And it shows.
Yep.
Hmm.
Composer and Warner's animation department musical director for over 2 decades, Carl W. Stalling, chose Merrily We Roll Along and Merry Go Round Broke Down, mostly used Looney Tunes, as the distinctive theme songs for Warner's cartoons.
Hmm.
Nice.
So, got those Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
never realized. I
We're
never
not.
realized how old they are. Like I knew they were older.
Hmm.
Like I knew they were like, but I always thought Looney Tunes like a 50s, 60s kind of
Yeah,
thing.
They went for a
Bugs
while
Bunny looks
though.
pretty great for 90,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
which,
Merry Melodies and turned into Looney Tunes, didn't it?
yep.
Wasn't it Merry Melodies? Yeah, yeah.
So, ever evolving.
Yeah.
Um, it's like
That was my
how
childhood, that
like
stuff.
how Mickey Mouse popped up in those um a version of Mickey Mouse popped up in those early Walt Disney live action animated hybrids and then kind of morphed into the Mickey Mouse that we know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And now the new Mickey Mouse that we know because of a public domain.
Yep.
Hmm.
But speaking of Looney Tunes, I know
Brilliant.
we've addressed it already, but I cannot wait for the Coyote versus Acme movie. Like that we actually
Yeah.
are getting it like this year. Like I think June, July?
August.
August. Okay, okay.
August, yeah.
August
So
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, but
Like
Yeah.
cannot wait.
where
I
you could
I
either,
End
make a
of summer.
surprise box office hit or
yeah,
like
Yeah.
blow up and nobody will notice
yeah.
Hmm.
in August. I can't
Mm-hmm.
wait to watch John Cena act against a bunch of Looney Tunes. It'll be a
I'm in
ton.
there for Will Forte, honestly. I'll watch Will Forte shit in the hat. I reckon he's amazing.
There it is, quote of the show.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a movie, and Will Forte's gonna shit in a hat. So there we go.
He'll sell one ticket at least.
Prepare the Oscars, okay? Prepare the Oscars. Next year is locked in.
Either
I
that,
do
or we're
love Will
gonna
Forte
rake.
though. I think he's great.
We're gonna rake up at the Razzies. This actually no, we're not high profile enough to get on the radar of the Razzies because they don't actually give a shit about what's the worst thing. They just poke
No,
fun at the most famous, at least bad
Recognizable.
or marginally
it's
bad.
co-
Yeah.
it's almost like the opposite of the Golden Globe cinematic achievement. It's the cinematic underachievement. That's what the awards
Mm-hmm.
really are.
Mm-hmm.
Screen Directors Guild was organized by a number of Hollywood filmmakers, choosing director King Vidor as its first president. He served from
Hmm.
36 to 38. The guild was renamed the Directors Guild of America, DGA, in 1960, although Vidor was nominated 5 times for Best Director for The Crowd, Hallelujah, The Champ, The Citadel, and War and Peace, but never won the competitive Oscar.
Damn, we
Oh
have
wow.
DGA now.
Hmm.
And those
Mm-hmm.
films range from 1928 to 1956.
That's
And
Yeah,
one hell
wow.
of a lifespan. Yeah.
didn't pick one up.
Well, it's
He
not even
still
30 years. But
he could still
I
get
guess
the award
was
for cool name.
That is true.
yeah, I know. It's cool now. Yeah.
Betty
Not as
Davis
good as
wished to
sorry.
further her film career and accepted an offer in 1936 to make 2 films in England. Aware that she had breached her contract with Warner's, she fled to Canada to avoid being served with papers. Ultimately, an English high court in 1937 ruled against her. It declared that Davis had to honor her Warner's contract and return to the USA to work exclusively for the studio. Davis returned to Hollywood both without income and in debt. Her luck turned soon after with appearances in Marked Woman and Jezebel, for which she won her second Best Actress Academy Award.
Hmm.
So it worked out for her, really.
Yeah.
So he fled to Canada, and then the Queen rolled in and messed up her day.
Yep.
So there you go. So
Royal
what's
family
the
man.
more? So children out there, the moral of the story is honor your contracts, or you'll get sued.
When do these contracts? Do you know off the top of your head, like when do these contracts like stop becoming like thing or like stop existing?
No, they don't. They do.
They still,
They do still exist.
yeah,
No, like
Like they
you don't have
sign, look, actors and directors will sign deals with like just like with
but
studios with
but not exclusively though. Like you cannot
some of
like in
them,
it. Really?
some of them get,
well,
yeah,
Finch is locked in the Netflix.
That's okay. That's true.
and Clint Eastwood, was at Warner's until Warner's dicked him over.
Mm.
And
Yeah, Spielberg's at Universal.
But always thought it's like a choice of theirs. Like oh, this is my preferred choice because they always
generally,
give
I
me
think they sign first look contracts.
okay, okay.
So, like, it
Yeah,
might be slightly different, but the studio gets the
yeah.
pass on it
They
first.
get
Because
yes,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like if because there are many times like
Do
in
you
the
mean
past
like
where like
these, like, the devil contracts where they sign their soul over to the
yeah, like
Copyright.
studios?
exactly like now like with
Not a
Betty
hundred
Davis.
percent sure when those ended.
Like because like yeah, with, like Betty Davis. Because, like if Spielberg like let's say wants to work with Paramount or whatever, I don't know, Disney.
Mm.
It's not like he will get sued, right?
He
Because it's just
could
I I
if
guess
he
technically.
I
doesn't
got a
run
10 movie
that.
deal.
If he doesn't, I don't know what his specific contract is, but if
Yeah.
he had a first look contract with most of them are, he has to
Mhm.
run it by that studio first,
Mm.
and they have to
Mm.
decline before he's allowed to show it to somebody else.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Never mind.
That
It was a
was
dumb question.
Nolan had that with Warner Brothers, if I'm not
And
mistaken, and
yep.
then he just was like, just walked away, and now he's
Hmm.
at Universal, and
Mm.
Warner is big sad about it and regretting it because
Hmm.
Yeah.
Odyssey gonna make bank.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, it's sure will.
like Oppenheimer made bank. It was
I
a
was gonna say
3 hour
Oppenheimer.
R-rated biopic and it made
Yes.
$900 million.
Odyssey, Odyssey won't make that. Odyssey will make five or six tops.
I'm not interested enough in the box office to to have an opinion on that, to be honest. I'm
I
sorry.
disagree, Gary. I disagree.
Mm.
Really?
Um,
You reckon it's going to make 1 billion?
I don't know if we'll make 1 billion, but like his Dunkirk made more than that. Like Christopher Nolan prints money.
That
So
is true.
like it's
Minus
already
Tenet.
sold $5 million worth of tickets a year in advance
Yeah,
just
yeah,
for
yeah.
IMAX screenings.
Yeah,
Like
fair. Fair.
I, I think it's gonna make a lot of money. I
I,
don't know if it'll make
Hmm.
$1 billion amount of money, but it'll definitely make more than $400 million
I
for
just hope it's
sure.
gonna be great.
And I think
Are you
it's gonna
talking
be.
globally or domestic though?
I'm talking
So,
globally.
yeah, sorry, globally, yes, easily.
Yeah, Oppenheimer didn't make $900
I was gonna
million
say yeah,
domestic.
yeah, no, no, no. That was
No.
globally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Because that would
Adam,
be
we're in a
like number
global world
one.
now. Nobody gives a shit about domestic box office.
Because 900 no movie
Yeah.
ever made 900 million domestic like in the US. Like I think the highest is like
Incorrect.
750.
One,
Force Awakens. Force
Force
Awakens
Awakens
did.
did.
Was it? Oh, okay.
It made
Yeah.
$936 million domestic, which made up almost half
Mm.
of its gross.
Damn.
Mm.
Because Star Wars
Yeah.
is not as popular around the world, specifically China,
Oh,
as
hmm.
Mm.
Disney would like to think that it is.
I was almost gonna challenge you now. Like, wait, what? And in China, I was like, okay, fair.
I'm pretty sure Zootopia made $600 million in China.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Zootopia
Yeah.
2, which is
That
insane.
will be making Zootopia 25 if they keep doing that. It's going to be like Ice Age and Despicable Me franchise.
I
Asia's
can
going
see
to
it.
be up there too after
Mm.
it made $2.2 billion worldwide.
What one was that, sorry?
Neja, that
Ninja
Oh,
2.
yes. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Neja 2
Are they
this year.
Yeah.
good? Are they good movies or?
To be fair, I saw it. It looked really cool. I didn't see the first one, and also I don't have the cultural context, so I don't know
Yeah, yeah.
stuff lost in
Yeah.
translation. But like, it's weird, but it's a wild ride.
That's what I
Mm,
keep
okay.
hearing. Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, is that all we could ask for?
Hmm.
Next up, we have American film producer Irving Thalberg died at the age of 37. He had been dubbed the Boy Wonder for his brilliant ability to selectively choose successful film projects. As MGM's head of production, he was responsible for such MGM classics as The Big Parade, Ben-Hur, Tale of the Christ, The Crowd, The Broadway Melody, Grand Hotel, Mutiny on the Bounty, The Marx Brothers, A Night at the Opera, San Francisco, Camille, Romeo and Juliet, and posthumously The Good Earth, A Day of the Races, and Marie Antoinette. He was married to MGM's biggest star of the 1930s, Norma Shearer, who was who had starred in the Barretts of Wimpole Street and Romeo and Juliet, among others.
Wow,
Damn,
Damn.
that man
that's a
made
list.
MGM a shit ton of money
Mm.
before the age of 37.
So was he like one of the most influential producers at of that time? I'm guessing, like just based on that resume.
I guess so. Head of productions at MGM.
Mm.
Print that money.
Mm-hmm.
And he died just before, they had probably their biggest hits of all,
Yeah.
right?
And only 37. That's damn.
Yeah,
Because, like, The Wizard of Oz
Mm-hmm.
came
yeah.
out a couple of years after he passed away then. Sad. Next up, the romantic drama, The Trail of the Lonesome Pine, was the first three-strip Technicolor feature shot entirely on location away from the studio. It was directed by outdoor action adventure, western drama, and war film director Henry Hathaways, though, and starred Henry Fonda, Fred McMurray, and Sylvia Sidney.
Hmm.
Mm.
This was the
I've never
origin
heard of
story
that.
of the Lone Pine Mall.
Oh. Nice.
But taking those Technicolor cameras out on the road, we got the first screen adventures for Flash Gordon, the comic strip character created by Alex Raymond in 1934, was Universal Pictures' 13-episode serial Flash Gordon, starring Buster Crabbe.
That's the
That's a
crab.
great that's a great movie.
That's a.
No, sorry, that's a great name. Buster Crab.
Buster Crabbe. Yeah, I love money.
Imagine like, him introducing himself like a James Bond, like Crab. Buster Crab. Do 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 do
I love
do.
money. So he just strolled up, just, made bank on Flash Gordon. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the Green Hornet radio show debuted on January 31st, 1936. Universal's 13-episode serial, The Green Hornet, 1940, starred Gordon Jones as the crusading hero Britt Reed, a modern-day Robin Hood. Gordon Jones is not as cool as Buster Crabbe. Sorry, Gordon Jones.
No. So we have Green Arrow. Wait, no, Green Hornet, sorry, not Green Arrow.
Yep.
Sorry, Green Hornet. We have the other one before. What is this, 1980s? Flash Gordon. Like what is like, is this 1930s? Is this 1980s? Hard to choose.
It could be like the aughts when Flash Gordon popped up in Ted, and then Seth Rogen was the Green Hornet.
Yep.
Mm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
see, no original ideas, am I right, guys? No original
No.
ideas.
Reuse, reduce, recycle.
No.
After a short 1-year contract with MGM expired, 14-year-old starlet singer Deanna Durbin signed with Universal Studios and made her first feature film, the successful musical comedy Three Smart Girls, reportedly saving the studio from bankruptcy. Other successful films followed starring Durbin included Best Picture nominated 100 Men and a Girl, and the sequel, Three Smart Girls Grow Up. I don't
Okay.
know
Gotta pay
what
for that
that
content
single
now, huh?
girl did with 100 men, but that sounds we'll leave it at that.
It was a chess movie, wasn't it? She's just playing chess against them all at once.
Was
Oh
she?
yeah. Mm.
Mm. It's a possibility. One of the two possibilities.
Yes, that's what they call it these days. Um, Producer Alexander Korda's British sci-fi science fiction epic Things to Come was a landmark film. Its score by British composer Sir Arthur Bliss, fitted to the film following its completion, became the first official soundtrack in its entirety to be issued on LP recordings to the public. Mid
Oh.
April 1937, the orchestral score also found a life of its own in concert hall performances. It opened the door for
Hmm.
John Williams and Hans Zimmer to make a shit ton of money going on tour.
Yep, sure did. I've actually seen that movie. It's pretty good.
Okay.
I am sure it's on my list because why wouldn't it be?
Yes.
So, legendary musical director and choreographer Busby Berkeley was ultimately acquitted and cleared in his third trial regarding second-degree murder charges brought against him after a 1935 automobile multi-car accident in which allegedly drunk Berkeley killed 3 people and injured many others, including himself.
Yeah.
If the glove don't fit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
acquit.
Must have quit.
So there you go. Long
And I,
before OJ, there was
I
Bugsby
can drag
Berkeley.
that. I can drag that back into Seinfeld reference too if you want.
Oh, what was the
Sue Ann Mishke, the braless wonder. The
Seinfeld so
end of the O.
great.
Henry fortune. I've seen
Beggars
that stuff way too many times.
we got Beggar's Wedding, aka Nozze Vagabond, was the first 3D talkie film with synchronized soundtrack to encourage the use of 3D polarizing glasses by its viewing audience. And that is where cinema went downhill.
1936. Yes, right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all downhill from here. Why do we even bother?
I am I'm not a fan of 3D. Um like
No, me
this
either.
movie's good enough, I'll be engrossed. I don't need it literally coming at me.
Mm.
Um, I think
I'm
the
fan
only
of.
film that I watched last year in 3D was Avatar.
I was gonna say, like, I'm only fan of specific 3D movies, like the Avatar franchise. Even though the last one, I don't think the 3D was as immersive as I thought the previous two were. And I remember Tron Legacy, like actually, like, when it came out in 3D, that 3D was fucking cool.
Did Olivia Wilde like pop out?
Like, she was almost there, man. And my 18, 19-year-old ass was very happy about that.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Yeah.
lie, watching Fire and Ash and Una Chaplin doing a whole weird thing in that hut, I'm just like,
Did you see that meme of the guy saluting in the cinema?
I'm just sitting here like this is hot.
Do I?
I can
I've got
see
a
why
reason to
he
watch.
I can
I've,
see why Quattro is just like I hate these aliens, but I love that. I'm just like I
Yep,
think I love these aliens now.
yep, yep.
I've got a reason to watch Fire and Ash now, have I?
Una Chaplin is genuinely the best villain this series ever had,
Mm.
and I hope she gets more space in the potential sequels because her
I think she
character is.
has to because they how they narratively wrap things up made it was like I will return and she like flies away. She doesn't
Yes,
scream that, but that's a
yes,
narratively that's what she
yes.
screamed as she flied away. They should have just plopped um Varang will return
Will
in
return
Avatar 4.
if this movie makes some enough money. Varang will
Mm.
return. The condition.
But no, Una Chaplin was amazing in that. And also, mhm,
Spicy.
yep. After nearly 16 years of marriage, Hollywood's golden couple, Douglas Fairbanks Sr. and Mary Pickford, known as Queen of Movies and America's Sweetheart, finalized their divorce. They had
Mm.
been married since March 28th, 1920. It was Pickford's second marriage and also Fairbanks' second marriage. They separated in 1933 when Fairbanks began an affair with English model actress Sylvia Ashley. She went on to marry a third time in 1937 to actor and band leader Buddy Rogers, as did Fairbanks a few months after the divorce was finalized. They didn't even wait for that ink to dry. Damn. They
Yeah.
were two of the greatest stars of the silent era of classic Hollywood.
I guess if they've been separate since 33 and like they finalized divorce 36, 37, like 4 years, 3, 4 years, I think that's good enough. And like, 13-year marriage, like, like technically 16, but really 13. In
Yeah.
Hollywood terms, that's like 40, 49 years.
It's
That's
nice
pretty
to
good.
see when like there's actual couples that have been together for forever.
Yep, yep,
Like I know
Yeah.
they're not technically married, but Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn have been together for
Yeah.
like 40 years.
yep.
Even though he
Yeah.
looks like tanned leather, as the mean tweet said when he was on Celebrities Read Mean Tweets.
Hmm.
And our last little fun fact here: the cinematic front it's French. I've the cinematique franchise, an archival institution with a mission to preserve film. The first of its kind was co-founded in 1936 in Paris by film archivist Henri Langlois, the first film preservationist, and Georges Fajou. It was dedicated to rediscovering, restoring, and preserving old films and making them available to the public. See, I got some of those okay. Not all of them, some of them. And that's what counts. And that's better than most Americans.
You did your best. And
Yes.
I think it sounded very good, Shane.
Thank you.
Also, I'll just say on a serious note, I think these guys you just named, I'm not gonna try French names because I don't speak French, unlike Shane. Uh, I genuinely think those are like, proper pioneers and proper,
Mm,
somebody
Yeah.
we should just sing songs about. Because to have that foresight in 36, be like, hey, somebody should preserve these, somebody should actually upkeep these so future generations can also have those. That's such a massive, important task and
Yeah.
often gets forgotten about. So,
yeah.
yeah,
We pour one
respect.
out for our homies. They
Yes,
did the work.
respect. Respect.
There we go. Alrighty. So, box office. So, I found a different place to look, and these seem believable numbers, but there's a lot less. I just have the top four films. At number four, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, which
No.
made
Mm.
$2,080,000. This
Mm.
sold 8,320,000 tickets.
Holy shit.
Tickets were 25 cents in
Wow.
1936. Lucky bastards. San Francisco made $2,868,000. The Great Siegfried made $3 million. And lastly, How to Become a Detective made $6 million, selling 24 million tickets.
Wow. I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, I think it's mean to count actual city as a movie. Like, to GDP of that, like, like, I don't think it's fair, but okay.
Well, they did it anyway, Luke.
Mean.
Alrighty. So yeah, there was some money thrown around there. But I think the biggest takeaway is those bastards paid 25 cents a ticket. They had to live through the
Yeah.
depression, but at least they got to pay 25 cents a ticket
I
to go
guess
to the
if your wage
movies.
was like $1, like, a week or something, like, how much was the average wage
I
for
don't
like
know.
36?
Yeah.
Because that, like, we're joking like, oh,
Yeah.
25 cents, but if probably like a poor motherfuckers will be like, oh, if it are $2 a week, they're happy. So it's like,
Yeah.
I
We're
wonder.
going out
And
having fun this weekend.
Yeah.
There
an eighth of
goes
your
there
wage. Yeah.
goes there goes an eighth of my salary to go
Yes.
watch a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, when you put in perspective like that, Luke.
Would
But
be
again, I
interesting
don't know
though.
the average.
2026 ain't so bad, is it? With my
True.
AMC A list, where I get to watch four movies each week for only like $28. You should all go join AMC A list. And yes, AMC, give us money. You're welcome. So next up, we have the Academy Awards. So we're going to go through some of the major categories here. We have Best Actor. So we have Spencer Tracy for San Francisco, William Powell for My Man Godfrey. We have Walter Houston for Dodsworth, Gary Cooper for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, and the winner, Paul Muni for The Story of Louis Pasteur. So how many of these have we seen, fellas?
Uh,
Uh, of the Oscar ones,
So of these
I've only
performances, I've seen two of them. Obviously, we all just watched one of them, but I've
yes.
also seen My Man Godfrey.
I didn't see that.
yeah, I
I
have
think
not
only
seen
one.
that. It's on my list.
So would you
Mm.
give it to Gary Cooper?
I mean, by default, yes.
No. We got actor in a supporting role because that is a thing now. We have Akeem Tamaroff for The General Died at Dawn, Basil Rathbone for Romeo and Juliet, Stuart Irwin for Pigskin Parade, Misha Bauer for My Man Gottfried, and winner Walter Brennan. Come and get it. Oh yeah, Walter Brennan.
Yep.
I've only seen My Man Gottfried, so obviously got to give it to that one by default.
Big fat zero for me. Yeah.
Yeah, zero.
Mm.
Now we got actress. We have Norma Shearer for Romeo and Juliet, Carol Lombard for My Man Gottfried, Gladys George for Valiant is the Word for Carrie. Nuking your classmates and burning them all alive is valiant as a stretch for Carrie there. Irene Dunn for Theodora Goes Wild. Oh my. And winner Louise Rayner for The Great Siegfried. Sorry,
Hmm.
Ziegfeld. I read that wrong. Um, Giving it to Carol Lombard, I guess. Again,
Hmm.
because it's the only one I've seen.
I am still at zero.
We got
Did I?
actress in a supporting role, Maria Ospenskaya for Dodsworth, Bonita Granville for These Three, Alice Brady for My Man Godfried, Beulah Bondi for The Gorgeous Hussy. Oh my. And
Ooh,
Gail Sundergaard for Anthony Adverse, which was the winner. So Gail Sundergaard won for that.
nice.
Yet again, I guess Alice Brady gets it for me because of My Man Godfrey.
And yet again, you guessed it, zero for me.
We do have director W.S. Van Dyke for San Francisco, Gregory LaCava for My Man Godfried, Robert Z. Leonard for The Great Ziegfeld, got that right this time, William Wyler for Dodsworth, and winner Frank Capra for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town.
Woo-hoo!
The
One,
word
one,
Frank.
one. Yes.
My fellow paisan.
Hmm.
Yes, an Italian immigrant who made his name sound slightly less, I guess, Italian, despite the fact that it still ends in a vowel. Next up, we have writing screenplay. We have Eric Hatch and Morris Reiskind for My Man Godfrey, Robert Riskin for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. We have Sidney Howard for Dodsworth, Francis Goodrich and Albert Hackett for After the Thin Man, and winners Pierre Collins and Sheridan Gibney for The Story of Louis Pasteur.
Mm.
I writing
Fair.
wise, I don't know. I think I like the story more in Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, but I think the dialogue's sharper in My Man Godfrey. So that'd be an
Yeah,
interesting one to
it
reflect
But
is.
upon that.
but has a man Gottfried gave us doodling.
Doodle.
Yeah.
Doodling, yes.
Yeah, because that was established in that
Mhm.
movie, and we are using it because of that movie, apparently. I've learned on IMDb, so that's a
Oh,
strong
really?
argument. Yeah,
There you
That's
go.
why we say doodling. Yeah, I was wondering
apparently
where
so.
that. Yeah, that's interesting.
And Best Picture, we have our nominees are Three Smart Girls, A Tale of Two Cities, The Story of Louis Pasteur, San Francisco, Romeo and Juliet, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, Libeled Lady, Dodsworth, Anthony Adverse, and the winner, the great Ziegfeld.
Mm.
Mm.
Wait, was my Godfrey not nominated?
It doesn't seem like it.
That's weird as hell that it got all those Oscar
Yeah.
nominations, and they're just like, you know what? Everything in this movie's great except the movie.
Besides, yeah,
Except
besides the
the
movie,
production. Besides the movie. Yeah.
you know, the
It's like
pieces are better than the overall picture, Shane. Okay.
it's like Denis Villeneuve getting snubbed for
Yep.
June, getting 16 nominations or whatnot.
Yep.
It's crazy. That is
So,
weird.
but none of these awards matter because the award that matters most is the Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture. So,
Mm.
Adam, what's your top film from 1936?
Modern Times. Yeah. Seen that once, loved it. I thought it was quite incredible, actually.
How about you, Luke?
It was close, but by rating alone, I loved Mr. Deeds. Spoiler for a later conversation. So Mr. Deeds Goes to Town would be my vote, but Modern Times is so close next to it because it is great.
And our winner for the
Modern-
Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture is Modern Times from
Yeah,
Charles Chaplin.
knew it. Nice.
And close runner up is Mr. Deeds Goes to Town
Yeah.
because that was also
Yeah.
my number 2. But
Nice.
Sabotage is right up there
Mhm.
as well, along with My
Yep.
Man Godfrey and Secret Agent. So a couple of Hitchcock films that I've been watching because I'm right
Mm.
at this era of Hitchcock too. At this
Nice.
point, which is very interesting. I've seen 11 films from 1936, from Reefer Madness to The Prisoner of Shark
Mm.
Island, Mary of Scotland, The Country Cousin, Swing Time, The Plow and the Stars, and then the 5 that I mentioned before. So you get that Reefer Madness.
Yeah, I need to see that. The only other one
Now,
I've only seen the 4, The Prisoner of Shark Island. We did an episode on that, didn't we, Shane?
yep,
It's actually quite good.
way back when, during
Yeah.
my time of John Ford.
John Ford, yes. I'd forgotten why we did that, but
Honestly,
yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
pretty sure about a fourth of the movies that I've watched from this era was specifically because of that
John
John
Ford.
Ford. And now
Yeah.
I'm going to be up to half them are just because of John Ford and Alfred Hitchcock.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
one of these is better than the others in this
You could do
specific
worse.
era. And that would have to be Hitchcock, to be honest.
Mm.
I think John Ford has some similarly great highs, but Hitchcock is infinitely more consistent across his
Yeah.
career than John Ford is. Sorry, Mr. Ford. I know you care about my opinions like 50 years after you've been dead. So there you go. But what about our most anticipated films that we want to check out from this year? Who would like to go first?
I can go.
I had okay.
Oh, sorry.
Go
I
ahead,
was
Luke.
gonna say like they all have been mentioned, I think, by you. So like Sabotage, I haven't seen still, so on my list. Swing Time and The Great Ziegfeld. So those would be my most anticipated as a person who only seen only 4 movies of this year. So yeah.
Yeah,
Adam.
I've only seen 4. I've got My Man Godfrey, which I've had on my queue to watch for a long time and just never got to it. There's a movie called Things to Come, which was like a pre-World War II film that's predicting World War II actually happening. Like it predicts a World War II. So I'm really keen to see just for
Love
that.
that.
Yeah, Reefer Madness and The Great Siegfried. There's also one called Furia, which I think is a Spencer Tracy movie, which I'd be pretty keen on as well.
I have the Great Ziegfeld because I want to know why this one Best Picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Honestly,
3 hours long. It's 3 hours long, by the way.
that's
Mhm.
why.
Luke
That's
will
why
love
it
it.
won Best Picture.
Yes,
They're like,
that's why it's on my list, Adam.
this is the best film. It is the longest. And then Dodsworth because I saw how many nominations it got, and then after The Thin Man because I want to see what happens next. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I want to see
Yes.
the entire
Yeah.
thing, yeah. And I also want to
Mm.
do at some point like wanna watch everything that's been nominated for Oscar, like feature movies, like and go like year by year, not just the winners,
Yeah.
but all all the available
But
nominees to actually
yeah.
get my knowledge up.
I am
Yep.
3 films away from watching all the nominees for this year's Oscars.
Really?
Oh.
I have
Oh,
two shorts
I was
and
gonna say
Oh.
that Viva Verde Italian documentary that somehow got nominated for Best Original Song that is nowhere.
I thought you mean Best Picture. I'm like, that's surprising to me. I know you're counting
No,
shorts and
Hmm.
no,
documentary. Yeah,
Luke.
yeah. No,
All
I was, yeah,
all
yeah,
movies.
yes, yes.
I only have
No,
Hamnet to go for this year.
bring your tissues. I don't know if
Hmm.
you're a crier during movies, but movies sad.
I can be. I can be. Yeah. If it's related to kids, which I know it is, then yeah, more than likely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And be prepared.
Hmm.
Yes.
I'll make sure I'm alone in the house.
I felt like a jerk because I heard it's a really good book and I bought it for my friend Haley for Christmas. And then I was gonna give it to her that day. I'm thinking like, crap, she's pregnant. She's about to have a kid. She's emotional about everything because she's pregnant. And I just handed her a book about a kid dying.
No. Shame. My
But she
goodness.
did really want to read it anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm gonna make you cry.
That's
So
funny, bro.
there you go. So be mindful of subject matters of the books, movies, or whatever you get for people for gifts.
Yep.
But we are here to talk about Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, not Mr. Adam Sandler. Um, but this honestly shocked me how parallel it's like how close these movies
Yeah.
are story-wise for most of it. There's some things that divert a bit, but what this film is about is an unassuming greeting card poet from a small town in Vermont heads to New York City upon inheriting a massive fortune and it's immediately hounded by those who wish to take advantage of him. Mr. Longfellow Deeds.
Hmm.
So, this film is indeed directed by Frank Capra, who won the Academy Award for Best Direction, and starring Gary Cooper, Jean Arthur, George Bancroft, Lionel Stander, as Cornelius Cobb. Some fun
Hmm.
names here. Not as
Mm-hmm.
fun as Longfellow Deeds, though. But let's get started. Adam, what were your general thoughts on Mr. Deeds Goes to Town?
Well, I did the math. It's converted 450 million plus, roughly, is what that equals today. So not a bad little
Damn.
sum.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was quite great. It's very Frank Capra, obviously. It's very it's very life affirming type of film. It's heartwarming. It's actually quite funny. It's full of great characters, great lines, and kind of like reminded me quite a bit of like It's a Wonderful Life with just the Jimmy Stewart character. Gary Cooper did just of the lines he reads, I guess, and how dreamy and big dreamy they kind of are, which is what attracts her to him, I guess, eventually. But yeah, no, very good film. General thoughts was, yeah, obviously very well directed. He won Best Director for it. Quite funny, very engaging. Yeah, what do you think, Luke?
So I loved it. I like so we talked about it before the show, but just to inform the audience, I couldn't sleep this morning, this night, last night. So I watched it at 3 a.m. or I started this movie at 3 a.m. thinking, hey, I'm just gonna put it on, and if I gonna go, gonna be sleepy, I'll just pause it, like get some sleep, finish it later. And that movie kept me occupied. That kept it kept me in it. I was mesmerized by the like sharp dialogue, as Shane pointed out. I thought the performances were great. Like the cop character, like he's got some great one-liners, like and especially in that
Mm.
kind of gravelly voice. If you want smelling salts, they're here. And
Because
like
he's in the original A Star Is Born, and he has a
yes,
very
Ah.
similar type of role in it, which is
yes,
interesting. So character
yeah.
acting work.
Exactly. And no, it's so, and yes, Adam mentioned it is Capra, at his best, like this life-affirming, you know, especially during the Great Depression that was happening at the time. It was almost as a programming to modern times, where, Charlie Chaplin is looking at it like, oh yeah, look at us, look at industrialization,
Mhm.
industrialization being bad, and like, workers should unite and all that. And he's like,
Mhm.
hey, what if rich people
Mhm.
shared their wealth?
Mhm.
Insane concept, guys.
Yes.
20 million.
What?
And I loved that line, by the way, how back then 20 million. Oh, you're one of the richest men in America right now. And I did an inflation calculator and it was like 453 or like 60 million in
Mm.
today's money. So it's insane that, if you had that money, obviously you'd be sorted. I don't think you would be even like 1,000th richest man in America with that kind of money. So,
Now,
No, it's
no,
yeah, now
no,
it's
no, God
100%.
interesting
no.
because there were people back then that had an insane amount of money. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
inconceivable amount of money. Like
And
Mm.
the Getty
yes,
family
Yeah.
yes.
had like
The
they might have been the
Rockefellers.
richest people ever,
Mm-hmm,
outside of like
Mm.
pharaohs and stuff like that, where
mm-hmm,
you don't really
mm-hmm.
have a conversion of wealth for
Yeah.
that. But like $20 million is still an insane amount of money back then.
Mm-hmm.
But wealth has divided so much at this point that yeah,
Mm.
$450 million is a drop in the bucket for like all the billionaires that we have. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And
but
one a trillionaire.
But I would still take 20 million today. I don't
oh
need
yeah,
the
I was about to
equivalent.
Oh
say, I'm like,
yeah.
I will still take that
Yeah.
money if
Oh yeah,
anybody
of
is
course.
offering.
Yeah.
Like of course.
I
But my point is nobody should have $1 billion. Thank you very much.
no.
Thank you, Billie
No.
Eilish. Um,
You
you, 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 socialist,
bad
Marxist, communist
guy.
son of a bitch, Luke
She's
over
but she's
here.
named after a billion though too, right? Name's Billy. Like she's named
She's a
after
bit
a billion.
and she's a bad guy. Duh.
Um, her thoughts on
There's
billionaires is more of like her sad girl music, like the song from
mm,
Barbie. Um,
mm,
but this film is so damn charming.
Mm-hmm.
Gary
yeah.
Cooper, which I've heard people that I really respect in film on podcasts and stuff point out that Gary Cooper wasn't like the strongest actor in terms of he
Mm,
didn't have like the widest range of what he was able to do as an actor, but he found roles that really worked for him because he's really charming in this and like so it's in a way where he's just so earnest
Yes.
mm,
and I appreciate that about his performance in this because and it's so funny because and I know it's the point they all say this man's a fool. No,
Mm-hmm.
he's just kind of like a grounded salt of the earth kind of dude. And I love that moment where he's in like the opera uh committee
mm,
meeting, which also them doing like second this, second that, anyone
Yeah.
approved to end a meeting, all those types of things. I'm like, I'm in a committee like that now. I'm like,
Are
I
you
yeah.
have
also a
never
chairman?
once huh?
Are you also a chairman of the committee?
No, I'm not a chairman of the committee. I will be a co-chair of a committee soon. Um,
Ooh.
so I get
Mm,
to do all that fun stuff. But this is that scene.
Mm-hmm.
He's not an idiot
Yep.
and he's very
no.
grounded and very
Yeah.
reasonable with money. And he's just like
Hmm.
I had a moment where it's like where they're like, well, shouldn't you learn how to spend your money if you're gonna rack up a deficit and want me to pay for it? I'm like, bam. I'm
Like that's
just
the
like,
defining moment where this character, like, we think, oh, he might be a bit slow or he might be this
Yeah.
and that, right? And no,
no.
that's the moment where he's like, oh, everything's starting to click, and he's like, well, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, we need to just figure out a different way. And then he goes back upstairs, and he's just like, you know what, guy who has this wife like, you get it back because like you're a charlatan or something. I don't believe you. So like, I'll have my butler throw you out. Thank you very much.
And that's what I love about the character of Longfellow Deeds is that he unexpectedly he's he's sharp,
Hmm.
he's resourceful, and he has good ideas. And I love the little element of this Deeds character that he's like a little poet.
Yeah.
Like that's what he likes to do.
Yeah.
He has this creative side, but it's very sincere and endearing kind of artistic. But honestly, he has like a very calculating brain where he's just like he understands how to like he gave reasonable ways for that opera house to make money, which I think is hilarious that they replaced that with the New York Jets in the remake.
Ah,
So he owns a football
right,
team,
Yeah.
right.
which is great. Like I love that character. Jean Arthur is just so bubbly,
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
she's great.
and she as Babe, um, Babe
I was
Bennett.
so confused about it. I was like, why does he keep calling her babe? Like, surely she has a name, and then it's established as her actual first name, and I'm like, what? What? Like, am
Well,
I
in
not
the
American
credits,
enough to
her name is
understand?
Louise Babe Bennett.
Oh, because like in an article, there's a news article that's like Babe Bennett, and I'm
Well,
like,
she go that's her working name. She goes
yeah,
by Babe Bennett.
Ah,
okay. But
But her actual name is Louise.
does anybody in a movie address her as Louise? I don't remember that at all. Everybody
What
I
I
is
don't
like
remember that
recall.
babe,
either.
babe, babe.
Um,
And I'm like, hey, this poor woman. I know it's 1936, but I'm sure that that's not her name. And then like I seen the article, like headline
Babe
printed.
Bennett.
I'm like, that's an actual fucking name.
Well,
Okay,
it's a working name
Interesting.
similar to
yeah,
Babe Ruth was
yeah, I
Babe
guess.
Ruth, George Herman Ruth. But
Hmm.
no, this is just more sexist because it's a woman. They're just
Because
calling
she's an
her
actual
Babe.
babe. She,
Yeah,
Hmm.
she is.
not bad
And
looking. Not bad
I
looking.
love Cobb. I think he is a great supporting
Yes.
character. And like, yeah, that I love a great character actor with a very specific voice who's just super
Yeah.
memorable and throws barbs out and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I appreciate like the scene where they're all with the writers at that restaurant and
Yeah, that's a great scene.
where like he's not dumb. And he's just like, I know you're shitting on me,
Mm.
assholes. And I
He
appreciate that
punches
Longfellow
him in the
Jr.
guts.
Boya is sharp and analytical and resourceful, but man, he throws hands. He's just
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
this is how we're gonna settle things.
He's
Fisticuffs
like
out there like whack.
he's like violence is the answer, kids. Okay, so
he is
sometimes
very
it's
violent.
good.
Yeah.
It's good to punch a person out, especially if he's asking for it.
It was
Yeah.
a kind of a weird, it was kind of went against his character a bit. I actually was a little bit down on that aspect because
Hmm.
even when he was talking to Babe and he didn't know she was the writer of the articles, he said, I'd like to go punch him in the nose. And like it just seemed to go against his typical it was a simple character. He was a simple man, right? And he was humble and he had, I guess, country smarts. So for him to be violent when he never displayed any violence at all until then,
But I
it
feel
was
like
kind
that
of
Well,
is in that character though. But I feel like it because like not to stereotype, but like I know many people who are kind of like the salt of the earth. And
yeah.
as long as you don't mistreat them, and as long as you don't make fun of them, they're all
Mm,
good. They're not violent people. And he's only violent, to his credit. He's only violent when somebody's actually trying to make him look stupid or make fun of him. Like it's not like he's violent
yeah.
for no reason, for a comedic reason or whatever. No, there's always justification.
well, what I'm
Well,
gonna add to this
mm,
conversation is, and I think it's a cultural difference
Mm.
because
mm,
in that kind of I think in the context, these small town kinds of things and that kind of life, he doesn't I'm not going to say he doesn't get violent out of anger and frustration. It's just, well, if you have a problem with somebody, you
Yep.
take your gloves off, you punch it out, and then you're good. And it's that
mm.
kind of like old school masculinity kind of small town kind of vibe. It's like it's that joke like how guys get over their problems. they
Yeah.
punch it out, and then they become best friends.
Yes.
And then how
They have a
women do
beer.
it.
Yeah.
This is a 5-year plan of how to ruin her life.
I
Like,
was gonna say it's not even that old school. In 2026, there are still guys like that.
well,
Oh yeah, yeah.
well, I'm not saying that people don't still act like that,
Yeah.
but it is still a very old school
Yes.
traditional way of handling things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like, I'm I'm generally not a violent person, despite the fact that I watch a lot of violence and stuff, but like I don't think that's the way to handle things. But like if I'm pushed
No.
and I need to, I'll mess you up.
Sometimes.
Well, that's
Sometimes.
that's kind of what I mean. He's not pushed that bad. Like he was a smart man. He could have used his words back
Well,
to stick
it's
up for himself.
I think it's just and I think it's one of those things where it's just like, well, back where I come from, this is how you handle
Yes.
things.
Yeah,
I think
And
yeah,
Dushane's. Yeah.
whether good or you believe that, I don't agree with that for sure. But I
mm,
think it's consistent with the culture clash kind of environment he comes from, and I think that's why in that particular moment in the restaurant it was very clear as a culture clash because these are a bunch of white collar artists, and
yeah,
these are men who've never lifted a hand to anybody probably, and them being like, whoa, like this guy's beating the shit out of us. But like
yeah,
i think I think that way of him handling things is more of a culture clash kind of thing. And I think it it gives him some dynamics that aren't great. Because
Mhm.
I think it's important that Longfellow Deeds isn't perfect. Because like he even goes out on that bender. And like
Yeah.
what a bender it
yeah.
was. Like it's so funny because we don't see any of it, but we just keep hearing about all the nonsense that he did when he was completely drunk out of his mind the night before. It's just like, where's my pants? It's like, sir, you didn't come home with pants.
Yep. Do you think it's a culture clash or more of a class thing where like he is like quote unquote lower class and and then he comes from the small town. I forgot what it was named, like how it was named, and then he goes to big New
Bedford Falls.
yeah, and then he goes to big is it New York, right?
It's New York, I
Yeah,
think.
it's
Yeah,
New
Yeah.
York City. Yeah.
So like I thought it's not even a culture as much as more like a class where it's like, hey, back in our low class, quote unquote, if you don't hear my words, we're settling it with fists. Whereas like in New York, even especially back in the day, like proper gentlemen like reading newspaper and arguing over like philosophy and poetry and like all that shit. So I
I
read
think
it. Yeah.
I think it's a what the word I'm trying to say. It's a it's a cross of those things. Because it is like it's a country versus city kind of thing.
Yes.
But
Yes.
there is also a wealth gap and a
Mhm.
class thing as well. And I think um it's a cross-sectional
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of dynamic
Hmm.
because I don't think these two things are wholly independent of each other.
I don't think yeah they're
mm,
mutually exclusive. Yeah, I think they're like
Correct.
more inclusive. Yes, yeah,
My 7:30 on a Saturday brain can't think of these words that I know on a regular basis. So that's exactly like that's I think there's layers to it. And I
yeah,
think it certainly is a class thing because he doesn't well that was the thing. They're like, you have $20 million. I'm like, what do I need $20 million for? And they're like,
yeah,
what do you mean? Why don't you $20 million?
and he continues playing his
Tuba.
like tuba, and then
yeah,
like
yeah.
when they are like, oh yeah, be at 4 p.m. in a train station, and they are looking for him, and then one of them spots him. I was like, wait, that's him playing the tuba, and he's just there in the middle of the band,
Because
and
here's the
I'm like,
thing. I know if I gave my father $20 million, he wouldn't use it. My
Hmm?
dad, all he needs is his beer
mhm,
and his TV so he can watch football. And he has his fishing poles so he can go fish. That's all he
Hmm.
needs. He doesn't need $20 million. He
Hmm.
doesn't want $20 million. I think he
Yeah,
just wants enough money where he just live his very simple life
mhm,
for how he can. And then,
I can
maybe he could
relate.
retire and pay for his rent and stuff. But
mhm.
if you gave me $20 million, well, one, first thing I'm doing, well, I'd buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then I would make a theater room large enough that I could buy the whole Criterion collection and put it in there.
Yes.
But like I would have ambitions of things that I would do with that money. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I know personally, if I ever won the lottery, if I ever played the lottery first, which I don't, but I was real tempted where that Powerball here got up to like it was $1.5 billion. I'm like, I was real
Jeez.
tempted to buy a ticket, but I would start a movie studio for small, independent, low budget cinema. Like I
Mm.
have things
Yeah.
that I would want to do with that money. Not
Yep.
everybody has those things, and Longfellow Deeds is one of those people. He's perfectly happy with the life that he has. And I think
Yep.
that's another interesting layer of the people that want this money so bad that want to scam him out of that money are so
Mm.
obsessed with material things and money.
Mm.
And this man's just like, I don't, it's going to sit in the bank. Like, what am I going to do with
Yeah.
it? Which is why
Yeah.
he wants to give it away. And
Yep.
I think, unlike the remake, I think the
Mm.
biggest diversion of the remake is that it leaves that part out
Mm-hmm.
a decent amount because this really dives into him just wanting to give away this money and really redistribute that wealth. And I guess because this is a very timely film, because this
Yes.
is
Still
in the
works.
remnants of the Depression, this is a
Mm.
powerful message of like, there are assholes out there that have way
Hmm.
more than they could ever need, want, or anything.
Yep.
And then we're all barely living.
And they just keep taking more and more. And
And
that's why I think that the character that comes in and makes him change his mind to start giving it away is obviously a key moment. But it's a big message to everyone that's really
yeah,
relevant today
You
still, yeah.
you mean the almost Luigi?
Almost Luigi, yeah. The guy with
yeah,
the gun.
When he pulled
Mr.
out the gun,
Maggione.
I'm like, hey, they have their own Luigi. Holy shit, what's gonna happen now?
And that was a powerful
Oh,
moment.
Luigi Mangione, you're right, I get you.
Yep,
And
yep.
not a Luigi Mario.
No, 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 not
Yeah.
Mario. No.
No, different Luigi. Um, but that is a powerful moment. I thought that was a little like jarring. I know it
Yeah.
probably was meant to be jarring, but like that came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. You're
Yeah.
like, holy shit. But then where that build up to, and then of course, just like Miracle on 34th Street, they're like, he's insane. And then he has to
Yeah.
go to court to
Yeah.
prove that he's not insane.
Yep.
Yep.
Those two little old ladies from town, that was funny.
That was very touching. Like
Yeah.
that was so sweet. Like every like
What
the
do they
whisper
call it?
back, and then like they repeated everything.
What was their phrase for people being dizzy
It
or
wasn't
something? What was it?
peculiar.
Pixelated.
Pixelated.
Yeah, pixelated. Not pixelated. Not the other stuff we know because of certain adult entertainment. It spells differently. I'm like,
Oh,
oh
okay.
yeah. It's in my version of subtitles. It was like Pixi late. I think I. I think that's
It
all
wasn't.
eyes.
It wasn't the PIQU
No, no. My version
related.
wasn't PIQ. My version was PIX. That's why I was like pixelated, like with it, because
They
obviously,
pixels back then.
no, that's the thing. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Was it
So like,
just a made up word?
I
Like
think that's like an old English word, where he basically described like like bit loony, bit up
they had
there.
X in the alphabet back then.
I know, right?
But no, like I thought this certainly felt like a Capra film. It had such an
Hmm.
earnest heart at the center of it.
Yes.
I was really
Yeah.
charmed
Yeah.
by this movie. And I thought that Gary Cooper and Jean Arthur had a fun dynamic
Hmm.
as well.
Mhm.
And you can see why she falls for him in this
Yeah,
and realize it's
absolutely.
like, wow, I'm surrounded by dicks. And like there's just like this genuine guy here, and it makes her rethink her life.
I was gonna say,
Hmm.
so like just to pull back the curtain a bit, we've recently watched the movie Harvey, and
Yeah.
I was quite surprised how similar, not on all aspects, but how similar this is to Harvey. And what I liked,
Oh,
like the
okay.
sincerity, the honesty, the performance by Gary Cooper. But what I like that it's not the same. Like as we pointed out, he is not as quote unquote perfect as Harvey was, right? He punches people,
Mm,
you know, and all that. But I also loved how we can see like Babe, Louise,
Yeah.
like actually like you can, those two characters are well done, so you can see how and why she falls in love with him, and how just being around him makes her rethink her life and what she's actually doing, not just to him but in general, right? So again, that's why I didn't expect to love this movie as much as I did. And when we finish, I'm like, I cannot really fault this movie anything. Yeah, this needs to be 5 out of 5, baby. Like I cannot find a single like.
wow.
Is it a bit like cutesy and all that, and like like schmaltzy? You could say sure, sure, but it's a Capra movie for fuck's sake. Like my
Yeah.
man Capra gets a pass. Okay, if he does
Yeah.
it so well, he can get a pass.
Well, you guys know my aversion to courtroom endings, so that hurt me a little bit. So
I see. I see.
Real quick, how well versed are both of you with the remake?
I've seen it
not very. I
once.
haven't seen it. Yeah, once
You
in the
haven't?
90s.
Oh, okay.
No, I've only seen it once. Is it the
90s. It's like
90s?
2005, no? 2004.
Okay, when it feels like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that long.
I've
Yeah.
only seen
It was an early aughts
Yeah, yeah. I've
Adam
only
Yeah.
seen
Sandler
it
movie.
once, and it was just around the time when it came out. I think like 2004, 5, 6, around that time. So it's close to 20 years now for me. Like, like I've only seen it once and I thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fine.
I think it's
I, I,
close.
I
It's 2002. It was
Oh,
closer to the
yeah.
turn of the century
damn.
because
I remember hating it. Hating it.
I own it. I can't tell you how many times I've watched this movie.
Nice.
Um, like I think it makes some it makes some bad choices, I
Mhm.
think, with some stuff.
Like casting Adam Sandler?
I don't think Adam Sandler was the problem. And I
Hmm.
think Adam Sandler, this was
The
before
writing was
he
the problem.
I think it went a little too hard with trying to be too quirky and weird.
Hmm.
Like the whole like John Turturro butler guy loving feet.
Yeah.
Like was that
Don't
necessary?
I don't
And
even remember that.
and
No, I
yeah,
don't remember that.
and honestly, I don't think Winona Ryder was great in this movie. And
Ooh.
that's saying something because and I'm not saying Steve Brill's a great director who was probably given good direction for things, but there's some things like the head of her paper in this, the original, feels much more of like, oh, I'm in love with you, babe, and kind of guy. He's a dick in the
Hmm.
remake, and it's Jared Harris, and he's so cunty. It's
Yes.
so much fun. like, I
Oof.
actually enjoyed that version of that character.
Hmm.
And there's just it makes a bunch of weirder decisions and the people back they spend a lot more time back at home because they have a bunch of characters there that are just like a bunch of weird muppets. Basically you have Crazy Eyes, it's Steve Buscemi, who has like one
Yeah.
eye going out one direction. I do think Conchetta Farrell, who plays the person that runs the pizza shop with Deeds, I actually really like her presence in the film. But she has this all they have a fist fight between her and Winona Ryder, and I'm like, why is this in this movie? And so there's decisions that they make that are make it too much of a weird, stupid Adam Sandler movie
Hmm.
that I think it takes some of the heart and earnestness away. But I don't think it's Adam Sandler. I think Adam
Okay.
Sandler played it just how it's supposed to be. I think the Adam Sandler movie-ish stuff around it makes it lose some of its heart, I think. But yeah, if you're gonna choose one of these, definitely don't watch the Sandler one. Watch the original. But I was just a little shocked that the Adam Sandler one's actually a pretty faithful adaptation
Hmm.
up until the
Hmm.
very end, where there's a big reveal that Adam Sandler's not the true heir to this money.
I think I remember that.
It
Yeah.
turns out that John Turturro, who is the butler, was his Preston Blake's bastard child because he
Mm.
had an affair with the cleaning lady.
Okay.
So then it's actually his money. Which
Right.
I'm glad that they didn't have that twist in this. I think this movie was more earnest and meaningful in that way. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so at the end of the day, that's Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. And next month, we're going to be talking The Awful Truth, which, to be frank, I don't know much about. So we'll find
Same.
out next time. We're getting real close to one of the biggest years in film. Was it 39? And
Yes.
there's some legit heavy hitters coming our way. Uh not gonna
Might be an
we'll talk
episode where
about
you're
it.
gonna do two. Might be an episode
I
where you're
think
gonna
it
do two
might
movies.
be.
Maybe.
Just don't make me watch Gone with the Wind and another movie.
Yeah. As
Yeah,
much
yeah,
as I would
fair.
love to revisit Gone with the Wind because I have seen it, I would love to revisit now. But no, it is 4 hour movie. If we were to watch that, it would be just that.
I am looking like we'll have to see how the Wizard of Oz does in terms of what we're
Yes.
doing. From Adam, from Luke, and from Shane. Thank all of you for always tuning in. But Adam and Luke, thank you for coming on as always and going on this journey through film history with me.
Thanks again. Nice to be here, as always.
Yep, always a blast. Thank you so much.
And thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. Have you seen the 2002 Mr. Deeds? Which one do you like better? Um, it'll be interesting. And make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding, and apparently so is my involvement in it. Now I have 6 podcasts, which I'm joining in on loops. But there's a lot of great shows on this network with all different types of interests. And if you really love movies, there's tons of that. So there you go. But if you want to be part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew, you can reach out to us on our website if you want to be a guest on one of these shows, or if you have an idea for your own podcast. And if you like the logo for our show, thank my buddy Joe, because he does some great work with artwork. He has an Etsy store, and you can follow him on Joey T Cartoon P, where you can find him on YouTube and stuff like that. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Cinematic Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.